The 2016 Mazda MX-5 has a bit of a mixed reception with car shoppers. You see, people just look at this convertible and see a goofy car, something that isn't as serious as a Mustang or Corvette. But real car enthusiasts, people who really know their stuff, when they look at this convertible, they really see something more like this. That's the 2016 Mazda MX-5 Cup car, a real race car that's revered for its motorsports heritage. In fact, after announcing this car and the related series, over 50 people bought these things in under 4 days. That's how hungry people are to take this thing on the track. And quite frankly, we're excited to get going too. So let's go. Hoping to put down one heck of a lap time in this car. But before we do, let me take a few minutes to remind you about what makes the MX-5 such a fun car in the first place. It all starts with the dimensions and weight of this Mazda. A normal MX-5 doesn't even break the 2,400 pound mark, and when paired with the small size and responsive power plant under the hood, this rear-wheel drive convertible is an absolute blast to drive on the road. But in the transformation into a race car, it drops a bit of weight, mainly by ditching the interior and passenger seat, making this car even more exciting. The engine and transmission are more or less the same, making at least the same amount of power as the road car. One big change is with the race exhaust, which sounds absolutely raunchy. The gearbox is a bit more durable in order to keep up with the demands of racing duty. Both the engine and transmission are sealed so that racers can't tamper with them to get a competitive advantage, but the coilovers have adjustable dampers and there's an adjustable front sway bar so you can really dial in this car's ride for each track. Brakes are 4-piston Brembos, but there are race-spec pads and beefier brake lines that are suited to deal with the high temperatures experienced when pushing a car to the limits. Wrapped around the wheels are BF Goodrich slicks, which are used by every racer in the Spec Miata series. All these bits and parts combine to make a car that's an absolute riot on the track. Why? You see, the MX-5 is very light and has a limited amount of power, so you have to push it into every turn and maintain as much speed as you can, rather than rely on a wave of turbocharged power to pull you out of a corner. As a result, you're really on the edge at every turn. It's absolutely exhilarating. Now this might go against the grain, but I love the feeling of this gearbox, and with such a fun, rev-happy engine, you're encouraged to change gears often in order to keep the tack in the power band. This old-school manual transmission begs you to not only have fun, but to master the art of changing gears. And on the track, it's amazing how tight and well-sorted this race car is. The suspension and tires work perfectly together. Like the road car, the Cup car isn't that stiff, but is very communicative, so you always know what the car is doing. But on the track, these BF Goodrich slicks are the real heroes. They're so grippy, and through the corners average over 1.25 Gs. That's a huge deal, and when we look at the lap times, that's going to make one of the biggest differences over the road car. The other big deal in this car are the brakes. The regular MX-5 already has great brakes on the Sport package, but the race spec pads along with the super sticky tires mean that this car can come to a stop at some pretty ridiculous speeds. Last year with the road-going MX-5, we put in a solid lap time of 126.53, which means it's a bit faster than a Subaru BRZ. This Cup car should be quite a bit faster, so let's put our professional race car driver Dave Pratt behind the wheel for a hot lap. This race car manages a time of 1:21.25, which is over 5 seconds faster than the road car. This puts it in the same territory as serious, high-performance horsepower cars such as the Mustang Boss 302, Jaguar F-Type S, and the Audi TT RS. That's not bad considering this race car costs only $53,000. If you're the type of person who saw this car as a simple roadster, this is the kind of performance that should change your mind. Besides, over the years, over 1 million Miatas have been sold, and many of them are still out there racing, just like this one.